What is going on, everybody? Antonius the Gamer here, back once again with Mikkel Smith. We are the Press Start Select podcast. Tim, what has been going on? What's been catching your eye lately in the anime and gaming world? Anything you're excited to discuss tonight that's on the docket?
Man, the world is changing. The world is
Weekly.
changing, man. I've been seeing some notifications about, Netflix acquiring WB. So I'm just like, okay. Because I think the last biggest uproar we've ever had was with the whole Xbox acquisition.
hmm
We saw how that turned out. So now here's this next one. It's just like, bro, where are we going? And how does this even work?
We're going to the world of the Alien movie. Three mega companies that just own everything.
No, honestly, man, it's yeah, and this is what we were saying about when, well, this is the next boss, that is the next boss. It's like, yeah, man, this whole economy is shifting. What you thought might would have been a future, like you don't even know what to call it anymore.
hmm
You don't. It's just now you're just in for the ride, if depending what it is. So yeah, man, Netflix is looking to acquire WB, and it's looking like it will be finalized soon.
Yeah.
um, the merger with Discovery. I don't even know what that was. Like all we just heard was the merger, the merger, the merger. But what actually happened? Like, well, I feel like the only thing that actually happened was you kind of just canceled out the DC animated universe
hmm
at a certain point with this big multiverse event, and that's just it.
Yeah.
And most of the game properties that you had fumbled. Um, so it's kind of like sometimes I'm thinking, was it Discovery the issue?
I don't think
Like
so.
they the ones making these decisions, like, or I just don't know. Like this is one of the quickest mergers and disparts I've seen in history. Like I kind of feel like it happened all just in this one year. Um, so yeah, man, it's like, what does that even look like, man? So, like, I get it, like, because I know you could play Netflix, you can play games on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time I saw Street Fighter, but it's like, is that something that I would be willing to do?
I That's a great question. It's like everything you're saying is kind of where my thoughts was of like this feels like a bad thing, but I can't put my finger on why, other than like you said, the monopolization of IP. But I'm just like, because you remember, was it late last year that Netflix had like a gaming division that they ended up closing entirely? So it's like there was the games on Netflix, but the separate thing that they were doing, they stopped doing it. Like I guess I can't remember they had console. It was something really odd where it's like when we saw the announcement, I was like, I didn't even know Netflix was doing this. So now it's like now that they're acquiring WB and HBO and all the things that come with that, and Warner Brothers Gaming. To your point, I'm like, okay. On one hand, does this mean that we're still going to keep getting the games underneath those properties? Is there a scenario in which like Ed Boon could buy NetherRealm Studios out of ownership in this scenario? And will the Nemesis system finally be free? You know what I'm saying? Now that Warner Brothers doesn't have the final say, right? Like, can some good come from this?
Well, all I know for sure, there's gonna be some revival in some animated series for sure. DC this and Mortal Kombat that, and to be honest, we might even get Middle Earth, like because especially with all this medieval animations that Netflix is pumping out. Like, bro, come on, like Lord of the Rings is bound to show up somewhere.
But you think there'll be something that conflicts with the Amazon show though? Because technically that's a Lord of the Rings universe.
Oh, but see, man, that's the thing, man. When all these things are spread across so many things, you
hmm
just you never know, man. And then even so what is the fate of HBO Max? Technically,
I think, and of course, this happened literally yesterday, right? So the things are going to develop. From what I understand, they don't have any plans to change anything that already has an established name. So it will still be Warner Brothers. It'll still be HBO, but there might be like that little parentheses underneath, like a Netflix company. So like
mm,
they're not changing the like. It's not gonna be like Netflix on the Warner Brothers, like tower or HBO going like all the IPs of HBO going straight to Netflix. Now I'm sure there'll be some type of bundle, like that. That I think that goes without
yeah,
saying, but I don't think they're phasing out the names of these properties now with the acquisition, if it goes
Because
through.
now this is curious because to be honest, to keep HBO subscriptions going, I would think so. Would you import like Netflix series onto HBO Max?
I think it'd be the reverse.
Okay.
I think it's more likely we see because there was a literally right before we can record this on Netflix. I think there was that HBO limited series with Elizabeth Olsen.
Mm.
So I'm like, obviously it's like they're renting out that IP. I'm like, but I think that would become the norm. Of like every now and then it's like, yeah, watch the Dark Knight trilogy on Netflix for the next month, or whatever the case may be. I think we're going to see a lot more spillover. I guess my question to you, especially in the gaming podcast room that we're in, I guess are there any potential cons you see, or any potential pros that you see with this acquisition?
Man, it's just man, it's just very foreign to me. Yes, it's just very foreign to me, man. Like, I mean, I get it. Netflix has become such a very strong powerhouse, but
Hmm.
oh, it's kind of like, do I even want them to even touch that? Because, like, bro, like the way they've canceled some of my favorite shows is like, I'm just kind of thinking, like, is anything really safe with you
Probably
on
not.
this end?
For being
Because like
honest.
just like how we see them studios getting cut, like even if the game is a success, imagine with Netflix, like, oh, you 10 copies short, cut.
Right.
But
Goodbye, Arkham
it's,
series.
it's only been a month. So, it's man, this is uncharted waters, man. And honestly, it is. Oh, it's very interesting. It's very
Yeah.
interesting.
To me, like I was joking in the group chat with you guys, I'm like, I think it could lead to some very interesting crossovers. Like, even though I just spitballed it, it's like I actually would like to see a animated movie where Batman investigates Ra's al Ghul on the Squid Games island. Like, I would actually kind of like to see that for real, or like I would like to see some implementation of some of Netflix's original IP. Like, I'm sure the Stranger Things cameos are going to be all over the place.
Bro, when you said Stranger Things, Welcome to Day, I was like, bro, in
Yeah,
a weird sci-fi Sharknado way, but with the budget, I can see that happening.
yeah,
Because it's like, because especially when Vecna came in, it's like, nah, bro, like you killing them kids.
yeah, yeah.
Like, what? Okay, I was like, okay, you just never know, bro.
Right. The kids
Never
move out
know.
of the town and into Derry, Maine. It's like, oh,
Spring break,
yeah, 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 yeah.
spring break, summer break. When typical horror movie fashion, you go to some weird New England town that has a history, and the next thing you know, it started raining because remember they said he comes around water, so
Yeah,
it's like oh, something happened.
right. And then it ties in with 11 because she got psychic telekinetic powers, and the
It's
crossovers
far
are
fetched.
endless,
It's
bro.
far fetched, but you just never know.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, I mean, bro, we'll see. I mean, we'll see, man. That would definitely like I said, man, this industry is changing.
Yeah,
There's, there's so many things, so many. I wouldn't even say infiltrators. There's just so many. The tables are being shifted around so
yeah.
much, bro. It's kind of like you. It's nothing. It's not something that you truly recognize anymore because there's now so many different parties involved.
I
So
agree. I think like to your point, I think the lines are being blurred even more and more and more. Right? Of like obviously I think it's fair to assume that Netflix's main focus was on the intellectual IP and when it comes to TV and movies, right? Like that, I think that goes without saying. But because things are becoming so mega conglomerate, it's like, yeah, but they also swallow up WB Gaming, which can mean nothing and everything, right? It's like this is a conversation we would have never even thought about 10 years ago. Of like, yeah, one day Netflix might own the rights to Middle Earth, and the Batman games and all these different things, and whether they care or not, or like what are they just like, hey, we want all these future things to be on the Netflix platform right next to Street Fighter, right? Like we don't know what they're gonna do, and it's just like I don't know. it's like I don't even know if I want to use the word cautiously optimistic, right? Because I'm like I just don't know what to take. Like you said, like from this info, like I guess we'll see. To me, I'm like, if I find out next week that they fired David Zaslav, I was like, well, they're already a step in the right direction because that man was a menace. Batgirl movie, no. Some of these long running animated series on HBO, no. Just cut, budget cut, budget cut, budget cut. You know, like let's focus only on Harry Potter, Batman, and Mortal Kombat, and nothing else. It's like, man, what are you doing? You know, so I think there is that part of me of like, well, clearly WB wasn't going to get it done on their own. And there's also that other part of me where it's like, some of the rumors that we were hearing of like, I'm also kind of low key glad that it wasn't another company bought by Saudi America either. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of
True.
the acquiring speed that they're on. So I'm just like, I don't know what to expect.
To be honest, like I mean, I know this is a bit biased. I know certain people would have felt the way, but I kind of would have felt like very comfortable if Sony would have bought them because I kind of feel like there's just certain studios that fit with a certain, like I wouldn't say palette, but like type of like
Mhm.
hemisphere, I would say. And honestly, if I would have saw Sony PlayStation acquired, I was like, you know what? Okay,
Yeah, I mean, it fits more within their groove of games, right?
yeah,
Third person action adventure cinematic game, all the Batmans, right? Sony's now the home for fighters. Now you own Mortal Kombat. You know, like there's certain things that would just naturally align with the brand.
yeah, yeah. And then to be honest, and I feel like they would have had the budget and the resources to revive certain things in a much better way.
Hmm.
And then also like it also would have expanded on even what they do on the side of media. Imagine the next Harry Potter series, you see Sony Pictures or like, and it's like, there's just certain things that's like, you know what, that kind of does make sense.
Yeah, but remember, Sony was one of the first people to come out and say like, yeah, we don't want them. So,
Well, because the thing about it is, like, no, because I know with mergers, there's also a lot of financial blowout as well.
Mhm.
So they probably just didn't want to take on that loss.
Yeah,
But then if Netflix got the money, that's like that kind of just makes you think like, well, how much of a loss was it?
I don't. But the thing is, I don't think Sony has Netflix money, and I don't even mean that in like a dig at Sony. I'm like, Netflix seems to have investors that just don't make sense. Because like you said, it's like if all your original shows are being canceled 2 seasons in, Stranger Things looks like a movie on my TV screen with some like it's not even like sometimes you have like the TV version of CGI. I'm like, no, that CGI looks really really good, especially this season. I'm like those Demogorgons drool dripping like the army men getting attacked. I'm like, no, this is they spent more time in the upside down and all of it is just rendered well. I'm like Netflix got bread, you know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, because well, I mean, when you look at it, I mean, I guess it goes back to the conversation we had years ago, like what really equates to like streams to money, because especially since this is a platform where people use every single day
Mhm.
to the point that the TV is asking you, "Hey, are you still there?"
Yeah, yeah. Maybe subscriptions at this
Uh,
point.
I mean, subscriptions is one thing, yeah, but and I know they have been cracking down on that, like how many TVs per household, but
Hmm.
then it has to be the fact that all right, there's some formula out there that streams equal cash.
Yeah,
Because if this is something that people around the world are constantly on, yeah,
and they have different Netflixes for different regions. So like Netflix Japan doesn't look like Netflix America, which doesn't look like Netflix Europe. So I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah,
what many blessings to them, I guess.
yeah, many blessings to them. All I know is that Lego Batman game that was already greenlit, I better see out its release date next year. I don't want to hear the merger cause a mess up. I need it. This is the closest thing we got into an Arkham series game in almost a decade now. Like, let that game drop, please. The best thing, like I said, they could do, my best case scenario, they free the Nemesis system. They let these companies either do their thing or let them buy themselves out. I'm sure Ed Boon could probably raise the bread to get himself out of NetherRealm being owned. And yeah, just take the visual IP and let the games kind of do their own thing. Because the way things
Yes.
were going, Mortal Kombat was next for the dumpster.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Ah,
So let's see. So one of the next things that we have is on some unfortunate news, actually. Um, Again, recent. Within the past 48 hours of news, we've found out that the actor who originally played Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movie passed away at the age of 75. I guess different eras for different people. For us, it was Mortal Kombat. There was I think a movie he was in before that was for that generation, and then for the younger Disney kids, the dad of Johnny Tsunami. Like that can't be understated.
man, he is the definition of a legacy character, man. Like to be honest, man, honestly, like his death kind of just made MK11 this classic title now that you just can't undermine just for his
Hmm.
presence alone. It's just like wow, man. When I saw that, I was like, yo, we lost Vegeta the same year, the English voice actor.
Mm.
We lost Shang Tsung, man. Like these are pillars to like a foundation in a sense. Like to this day, bro. Like I get it. The Mortal Kombat, the latest iterations of Mortal Kombat movies have been rocky. You mean to tell me that the best movie we've had took place in 1995? Like even when you look up those old pictures, bro, they even have that nostalgic looking
Hmm.
filter on them. It's like, bro, they are in some Polynesian place, and and it's just like you see all this scenery, like you see them. And I remember, bro, he was 45 at that age.
Really?
He was 45. I was
That's
like,
crazy.
wow.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like I said, man, he's a true legacy character, bro. Like even to further expand on that, like even when Uncle Phil passed away, a lot of people did not know that Uncle Phil was the voice of the Shredder.
Yeah. Until after he
Like,
passed. Mm.
like I remember one time when he passed, like I said, "All right, rest in peace to the Shredder." Some dude was like, "Wait, what do you mean?" I was like, "Bro, let me educate you right quick."
Hmm.
Like he was like, "Bro, I never knew that." Like he's like, "Wow!" Like he's like, because after when he saw it, like now he hears his voice. It's like, "Wow, I never knew that."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, man, so man, rest in peace to him. Thank you for all that you've given us. Thank you for, and I just pray that his family. I hope they're yeah
Yeah. To me, especially as an actor, I know sometimes it could be something where, uh, especially from that era, it could be almost harming to be defined by a role, right? Of like, while it was good in the moment, the fact that people only think of you as this one thing tends to sit on their spirit a little bit different later on in life. And I think even having him come back to literally reprise his role as Shang Tsung on NK11, I think to me at least showed that acknowledgement and appreciation that he had for people's love for him as that character. Right? Like we grew up in the era of really, really bad video game movies. And even in Mortal Kombat, which again isn't like an Oscar winning film by any stretch of the means, like his acting was not the issue. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing we can all like agree on. It's like his portrayal of Shang Tsung was like, yo, you could tell that he took this role seriously. It wasn't this like, oh, I'm just in another video game movie of playing some random weirdo character. It's like that, like your soul is mine is like it. It was the movie that like solidified that, for our generation. So yeah, rest in peace. Thank you. Like we've done before for people who have passed away. Like, thank you so much for your contributions. My childhood would have never been the same, had you not decided to make this role your own. I don't want to butcher his name. I'm hoping I'm getting it right. It's Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa. Rest in peace. Thank you again. To move on to somewhat lighter news, Tim, Digimon Time Stranger. has been
Man,
on
I
a
am
legendary run.
I am so happy. I am so even when there's even pulling the same Pokemon gimmicks this time around, it's like I was like, you know what, you deserve that. You deserve that. Like, you know what, have all of that because there's like, all right, once I saw like, oh yeah, you got two versions of Omni Man for this particular DLC. I was like, go ahead, go right ahead.
But let that be the last ones, please.
Yes,
Please.
get your jobs in. Get your
Yeah,
jobs in. We already know.
yeah.
We already know.
Yeah.
But you know what? You delivered a quality product, man. When I heard how many Digimon that are available, I was like, bro, what?
Yeah. And long-term fans are actually they're happy but not happy because they're like, but what about the rest? It's like, no, this is the most you've probably gotten in every game in any game so far.
And this is the first DLC pack, bro. This is not the end. This
Yeah.
is not the end. Like, this is a game. But to be honest, bro, like they probably could put like at least 2 to 3 years into this. You just never know. Yeah, let them get their Omni Man stuff out the way, but hey, thank you for your success. Thank you for, for over 60 million copies. Here's 50 to 100 new Digimon that you are able to integrate into your adventure. 5 new back worlds. Have a good day.
Mm,
Almost like how Gran Turismo does. Like, oh, thank you for the amount of sales. Here's 5 new tracks. Here's 200 new cars.
sure. I'll take it. Thank you.
I'll take it. So I mean, I'm happy for him, man. And like I said, there's a, it also connect. I mean, not in a full way, but then there's ways to do it. Like it connects to the new anime that's been
Hmm.
going, that has been gearing up. So like they planned this perfectly. They did. They smelled that blood in the water, and then honestly, man, the streamers are loving it. The streamers, especially with the debacle with Pokemon and stuff like that. Not saying that one had to win and the other had to lose,
Mm-mm.
but it's just a simple fact of the matter is people are recognizing the quality.
Yeah. Like we've said on this podcast multiple times of like Digimon is one of the few series that has at least dared to try to grow with its audience. Of like we're not afraid to have these more adult themes, or dealing with adulthood because we recognize that our core audience are adults. It was like if you grew up on Digimon Adventure, that was 1999 ish esque. Wait, 90 late 90s, right? 97 was when Digimon came out. Is that sound
I
about right?
wouldn't even know.
But either way,
Yeah,
the 90s was 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think just the fact that they're willing to, have an anime or have even anime spin-offs that try to bring in a younger audience, right? I haven't watched the new series yet, but even if it's not for me, that's fine, right? Because you still want that newer audience that are going to appreciate this new cast, these new Digimon. Like they have a lot more backlore to jump into. And then for fans like us, it's like we're getting intrigued, like you said, by just the attention to details of things that they know matter to us growing up. Of like, sure, do I want to see 3 more versions of Greymon? Probably not. But I know why you're giving it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there is, like you said, it's not one for another, not a tit for a tat, but you're not seeing the same complaints about the Digimon alteration form that you are seeing about these mega evolutions. You know what I'm saying? No one's like, oh man, Greymon looks like everyone's like, yo. Even Jory, who's not as big of a Digimon fan as we are, it's just like, yo, these designs. I'm like, I know. It looks, it's, there's a level of, I think it to me, it almost feels like what we ask for from a lot of these gaming companies of like, if you just show the mutual appreciation, we'll support you. Stop saying like take this and be grateful. Like show us that you appreciate that we've held on for this long, and we'll show out. Like I've seen content creators that I follow who I would have never expected to be talking about Digimon, and then talking about it in like high regard of like, yo, this is finally. It's like watching an underground artist that only you and your friends know finally have their breakthrough hit. Like, oh yes.
No, that's very true, man. It's a quality game, man. You can't deny that. You can't.
Mm,
You really can't. So I mean, Bandai Namco, that was a win for you because I know the Tekken ground has been a little bit rocky. So I'm just happy that that was a good solidified win. When the DLC drops, that's I'm just looking forward to the streams.
that's funny. Yeah, I ironically did not end up buying the game on sale because of a game we're going to talk about shortly. But I plan on it. Like it came to a point where it's like you always said, Tim, was like the Black Friday sales are good, but you start realizing like, yo, I click download, download, down, like confirm, 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 and your account was just, hey man, you still got bills. You're an adult now. I was like, oh right, 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 right. Gotta pick and choose a little bit, So I'm like, I already knew I
Well,
didn't,
I do 2 to 3 game minimum.
but I had already hit that to the like.
There was one Christmas, like I was like Fallen Order, this, that, and I was like, oh, bro, you coming up on the 120 mark.
Yeah, yeah. I'd already quickly hit the okay, like hold on now. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to eventually playing the game. It'll probably take me at the current rate of my hours on my job 6 months to beat it, but I'm looking forward to every weekend. But the game that I did end up buying, or actually two of the games I ended up buying that I wanted to talk about with you, Marvel Cosmic Invasion was one of them that released this week. There was it was a no brainer of like I've been looking forward to this game since it was announced. Like I had to buy it. Have you gotten a chance to look at any of the gameplay, any of the?
Bro, the moment that they put Cosmic Ghost Rider in, it's like, bro, like, come on. You can't get better than this. Like, the man's name is in the, well, part of his name is in the title.
Mm,
And to be honest, like, I'm just so happy for the recognition of Ghost Rider, because especially the Robbie Reyes one and Marvel Token and the Frank Castle, like, those were my two favorite Ghost Riders.
mm,
Like there were just so many things about, like, even though Frank Castle's one is a bit more short lived, but like it's like, and this is why the argument with Miles I can never respect. It's like, first of all, man, there's Frank Castle, the Punisher, a skilled gun marksman, whatever, becomes the spirit of vengeance.
mm-hmm.
Okay, that's one power up. Then he gets cosmically enhanced by Galactus. Two power ups on top of the fact that he's a skilled marksman. So that's three technically
Mm-hmm.
layers. So you mean to tell me, oh, but all this God avatar stuff is not fair. You're gonna make him, it's not gonna be balanced with Peter. I was like, bro, Peter Parker don't had so many iterations, but he's don't got so many different type of power ups. So you mean to
Yes,
tell me
bro.
a kid of an African diaspora cannot connect with an African god that he has a bloodline connection to?
Selective memory. You know how that goes.
Okay, okay, but like I said, to get back to the game, I, I saw Phoenix, another cosmic character. It's like it's a no brainer. So like, and that's what I really love. Like as this roster started to grow, there was a lot of no brainers. I was like, okay, y'all
Yeah.
know what to do.
Mm.
And I felt the villain choice was very spot on. The little insect army. I was like, bro, like that's common sense.
Right.
Okay. And that's what I like about it. It's very common sense filled. You got a few wild cards in there. You got your She-Hulks, you got your Spider-Man,
Who
Venom,
plays amazingly, by the way. She-Hulk is a surprisingly great character.
Rocket Raccoon is in there.
Mm.
So you have your Guardians personality, and I think Nova's in there.
Yeah,
Right?
Nova is in there.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think to me, I literally have no complaints with the roster, even with characters I'm not as familiar with. Like the one, I think it's like Shiavel or whatever, the one with the cosmic sword. No idea who she is, but she plays great. Like she's fun to play. Like, and like you said, like the cosmic aspect of things. Like, of course, it's not going to be just a list of street level heroes. And even the way they ended up working in Venom, I'm like, well, that does make sense. Because it's funny is like I know people have like their mixed emotions about how, like you said, how much cosmic stuff they want to integrate. It's like, yo, again, Venom is an alien. Like he is the offspring from an alien deity, a cosmic deity at this point. Like it makes sense for him to be involved on this scale.
Yeah, because they might do one move where he sprout the venom wings, and it's just like, oh, gliding across. Like, ah!
Yeah. Like it's you don't have to they don't have to do it for everything, but like that is a part of his character. That's part of his lore. It's part of his backstory. Um, there was a couple of surprises for me. I don't think the combat was on the level of Shredder's Revenge, which was a little surprising.
Okay.
I think it because like Shredder's Revenge, although yes, it's four turtles. There's only but so much things you could do with their moves. They all felt distinctly different. Even with the DLC characters, right? Like Yojimbe, like there's different ways. Casey Jones, there's different ways that they fought. That you're like, okay, there's a little bit of nuance here because you're unlocking certain skills. With Cosmic Invasion, it's a mixed bag for me because on one hand, the moveset you get at the beginning of the game, that is the moveset. Spider-Man doesn't unlock anything new. Captain America doesn't like unlock anything. Like that is the moveset. The biggest thing on the game is a tag out system. That's how your combos get variety. However, this is also the biggest roster that this company has done for a beat 'em up so far. And in that, not a single character plays the same. Not one. So although, like, for example, Spider-Man and Venom or Wolverine and Black Panther, yeah, they have similar styles, similar fighting abilities, but they do not fight one for one at all. Black Panther in that game is a problem. One of my like, I think he's one of my favorite characters in the game. Like, because there's a level up system, of course. He's the one I leveled up first. Like, he's great. He's great in this game. The worst thing about him is probably his super. Everything else is great. Captain America is also like really, 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 really good in this game. So I think in terms of I guess a universal appeal of like, okay, if you're coming for your favorite, they didn't disappoint. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little surprised having played it because I feel like, let's say you still had your PS5 and we did like a crossover stream between you, me, and Jory. After we beat the game, I probably wouldn't pick it up again. You know, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel about that given how much they've given us out the gate.
Um, I mean, we'll see. Um, I do definitely see, like, this genre. There have been some hit and misses, and there's some miss. And actually, when I say miss, I would say missed opportunities, not like a total miss.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I realize these games have, like, most of the time they have like a 2 year cycle, like maybe like two DLC expansions, and that's the formula I've seen with them
Mm.
recently. So we'll see how, because the final product is the final product.
Yeah. I just because like I think a lot of the average reviews, I think it was like a Metacritic, it was like an 80 out of 100. Most reviews are giving like a 7 to 7.5 out of 10. And I remember seeing that and I was like, oh man, that seems a little bit surprising because Shredder's Revenge was like a 9 out of 10 for most people. But then after playing, I was like, oh man, I don't know. Like I don't know. Like once I beat it, if I'll be coming back to this the way I did. Like Shredder's Revenge, sometimes I would just pick it up to play just because. I don't know if I feel that way right now about Cosmic Invasion, just in terms of everything. Like I'm just like, this is cool, but it like you said, it feels like there was more on the table that they didn't quite tap into, and you can kind of feel that lack of like, so there's campaign and arcade, no survival, no time attack, no like level 2, level 3 super like Shredder's Revenge. Just like, I think I'm done. Like roll credits. I think I'm putting this game, in the depths of my library and not thinking about it again until the next DLC. So that was a little interesting. Definitely curious to know your thoughts in terms of games when it comes to longevity. One of the other games that I did end up buying because the sale was, I feel like I would be silly to not have bought it at the price that I got it at. Bleach Rebirth of Souls is finishing up its first season pass with characters, and we've got the reveal trailer for Yuhabak, and that's it for season one, quote unquote. What are your thoughts on the season pass characters? Do you feel like they were good choices? And do you see this game having any type of longevity? Let's just say 6 months from now.
Oh, bro, like I mean, it was interesting to see Ultra Instinct and gameplay, but man, this game had a very mixed bag of highs and lows, I would say.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I definitely feel like it was going to build over time as the DLC packs roll out, and of course, the actual when the anime was finishing this war arc.
Hmm.
But I kind of feel like, is it a tech demo for the next one, like how Demon Slayer, Hikome Chronicles 1 and 2 was?
Hmm.
That's the vibe I'm kind of getting here.
But I guess with that, because I do kind of agree with you, like having now actually played the game of like, this is this feels like a skeleton, like to some degree. Um, my thing is, we know we've been around for a while when it comes to anime games. We know that Bleach, for whatever reason, just does not get as many chances as some of these other long running shonen series. Of like, this is the first fighting game we've had for Bleach since what, the PS2 era, right? PS3 was the last time we got a Bleach game. Period. So like to me, I'm like, yes, you might be right, but I'm like, there's a part of me just given the history of Bleach of like, I don't even think we get Rebirth of Souls 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, what does that even look like?
I mean, I definitely would say more Quincy's.
Ugh.
More Quincy's. How many? That's a bit because remember they had the whole alphabet for these dudes.
Yeah.
So I would think limit the ones that had the most fights. I would say like the Basby. Oh, but even that is interesting. I mean, you would definitely need the final four. The
Yeah, no,
final
for
four with
sure. For
them
sure.
crazy powers
Yeah, yeah.
because that was just ridiculous. Um, yeah. Uh, I mean, we'll have to see, man, because bro, the way they did Barrigan, whew, I was like, bro, you left out the king on Waco Mundo,
Yeah.
Waco Mundo stage. I was like, bro, we are
NPC.
vicious down here.
After making a character model for him and everything. Um, yeah, haven't played it. Okay. You know the critiques you've kind of lobbied towards Naruto and even Hinokami Chronicles lately. Bleach is kind of like that. Like the design is like, I think the character models look great for the most part. I think the cinematic flair of like using like your Bankai or your resurrection look really cool, but the combos are very very shallow. Like there's only not every form of Ichigo like fires a Getsuga. Like some of it are like relegated to just a special move and that's it. It's like that this is not, it can't just be square, 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 combo ender. Triangle, triangle, triangle. And it was sound like I wasn't expecting a game with a light and heavy attack to really only have, one string combos. There's not even like a directional combo. It's just square, 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 square. Flash step. Combo, 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 combo ender. And it's like, this is not, what I'm saying? Like this ain't Dragon Ball Fighters is what I'll say. So I just and even the story mode, like the story mode for me, I don't know if you watch the cutscenes for the story mode at all, but it's almost too thorough, if that makes sense.
I think this was something that they were experimenting with because it's been a while. Because to be honest, man, and I think this was also with the Storm series too. There was something about the Bleach games during the PSP era
Hmm.
that was just very hard to bring back. Like I feel like that was the most depth we ever had in a Bleach game.
Hmm.
And that's when Bleach was at the top of his popularity next to the other big threes at the time. So I kind of feel like with this new hardware, like, this was the first time we've ever had something of a much caliber like that again. Um, I definitely do feel like maybe it is a bit of a tech demo. to really see like moving forward. All right, how do we really want to expand on this, especially with a much more larger roster of of characters.
Mm.
Well, I mean, it's going to sell. It's going to sell just because of who the dude was, the character reveal.
I don't. You think so? I don't think Yuhabak does for.
When I say sell, I
Mm,
think I would say enough. I would say enough. Like, yes, there's still so much mystery around this character because, first of all, you released this character before even the final battle in the anime.
which is yeah.
So it's kind of like, is he just going to be the first version?
I
Like,
think so.
so, I mean, it's interesting, man.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, it's weird because in my brain I'm like this conflicts with everything that I hold dear. Bleach is almost a game that I kind of want CyberConnect 2 to make. I think Bleach needs a really, really flashy looking game to kind of get people's interest in it and then go back into the deep fighter realm. I don't know if trying to split the difference, like what they've done with the My Hero Academia fighting games, for example, like I don't know if that works for Bleach. Like it's a weapons based combat system for the most part. If anything, it should almost be like an anime Soul Calibur, and we don't really get that from most of its entries. Again, like outside of what you said, the PSP version of like Heat the Soul was surprisingly good. Like surprisingly good. Like they should probably port a collection of the series to America. Like how solid it was and how big the roster was in those games. Like by the time you get to the last Heat the Soul that was released, it's like there's like 4 Ichigo, 2 Rukia, 3 Renji, 2 Byakuya. It's like, okay. Like everybody, the vice captains, everyone's there, so it were just 2 games that I just felt like, all right, I can see why the conversation didn't last too long. I'm like, I don't see Cosmic Invasion hanging around towards the top of next year. Let's see, was there anything else that we didn't discuss prior to the console specific news? Okay, so Jordan and I kind of covered this. Oh no, sorry. Before we get into that, there was a article that came out this past week, not too long after this game's announced success, that I thought was very interesting. The article
Mhm.
essentially was speaking about the potential collapse of the AAA gaming market, where AAA games are not selling as much as they did in previous years. They're flopping more than they have in previous years. We're seeing significant more success in terms of copies from indie studios, indie games, quote unquote double A games, and therefore and the like. And they just had the release of that game Where Winds Meet, which is a free to play game that has all types of mechanics and graphics and things that you typically would not see in a game that is essentially free to download. Now, of course, like every other free to play, they have monetization locked behind cosmetics and different abilities moving on. But by all metrics of a free to play, it's been considered a success. So my question to you is essentially, what do you think about the current AAA market? What do you think about the rise in games that are either free or at least cheap, right? Clear Obscure, for example, is $50. Like, do you think that the AAA market is it just a matter of when at this point? Can it be redeemed? What does redemption look like for the big
Oh,
blockbuster?
redemption, that's a funny word.
Hmm.
Um, well, first of all, I definitely feel as if, first of all, it's just, I feel like the scaling is also the issue. Like, in there, like the mental scaling. Like, what does a AAA title mean? Like, for example, I look at Sword of the Sea. Bro, this is amazing quality and it's racking up the awards and just appeal. But then it's like, okay, but then why is it we are so, like, as a society, we're just so fixated on Grand Theft Auto, Interstellar, the next this, the next that. And it's like, but what happened to all these other titles that y'all are just not even paying attention to? So I think it's like this. I think it's more of a mental thing. I genuinely think it's more of a mental thing because, yes, I get it. A large amount of money is being put into because you got to pay your actors,
Mm-hmm.
graphic fidelity, all these other things, gameplay mechanics. And it's a lot of fine tuning. But I do feel like, okay, like, I get it. These games are going to sell. But the thing about this, in terms of flop, I just genuinely feel like it's like, I think the economic factors of this world play a role. It's like, bro, like you expect people for it to be 60 million copies before the year is out. It's like, no, bro, like what happened to longevity? What happened is like is it a AAA title that you just one and done?
Mm,
Maybe a new game plus and that's it?
mm,
Or is it like what is the real quality of life upgrades with this? Because like to be honest, I felt like God of War Ragnarok was actually a good example of how a AAA game should be handled in terms of you release it, give us some quality of life updates. The DLC was free. It was very, very good. Yeah, real good reviews. You throw in a couple of costumes in there and you call it a day. But then you're happy about the product that you put out because it is actually a great quality product. But and then, like, and another example would be, Grand Theft Auto as well. Like, once Grand Theft Auto releases, you don't really care about the constant sales updates. You know that this is a game that is in its own lane for a reason.
mm.
Like, there's like when I saw the Gran Turismo movie, I did not know how much sponsorship goes into that. All these other factors. Like, there's money being made for this particular product on all sides.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of feel like it's how you push it out. Like, how are you structuring this and what is your return? Like, for example, I think like a good way for redemption is, Ghosts of Yotei. You know, Ghosts of Yotei out the gate, amazing game. You're constantly giving it fine tunes. Like, hey, yeah, we realized, there was an error. This we're fixing that. Oh yeah, don't forget the multiplayer is going to launch X Y Z. Or there's an anime component which connects into that. So like
Mm-hmm.
you're giving it life. And I feel like that is a good example. Sometimes I feel like with some of these other AAA titles, they just release it just to die.
And we were all very critical, to some degree on this podcast of like, for as good as Ghost of the Yotei, what Ghost of the Yotei is, Sony's marketing for it was like head scratching of like, this is one of your biggest first party IPs in the last 5 years. Why am I not hearing anything from you guys? Where is the marketing budget for this game? Like what happened to the promotion? Like where's the billboards? Where's the TikTok cosplayer doing? You know what I'm saying? Doing something as Jin, or whatever the case may be, just to kind of like stir up the interest. Like it just kind of felt like almost like a sigh of relief that the game ended up doing well because it wasn't because of the promotion. And like I guess to further what you were saying is like I do take for example Marvel's Wolverine, right, coming out next year. What would be the number that you feel it has to sell to be a success in everyone's eyes across the board?
I would say I would say the first 5 months, maybe like probably like 5 to 7 million.
But someone would consider that a flop.
But see, that's the thing, man. That's why it goes back to what I said the scaling. Like what is this?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, like yeah, like I said, man, like I do feel like the anticipation for the game is really building itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope like it could work in Sony's favor, but I also hope that they just don't solely rely on. Like, yes, we're waiting to see what. All right, well, first of all, to be honest, in terms of like, Insomniac, like to be honest, in a game in terms of like gore, they haven't done that since I would say Resistance.
And even
And
Resistance wasn't even that gory.
gore, yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't that gore. Like, yeah, there was like blood and chunks, like when the
Mm-hmm.
aliens, but like, no, this is like hack slash gore.
Dismemberment.
Like dismemberment. So I'm excited to really see how they handle that. Um, but yeah, it's just I feel like it's the scaling to me. I think it's the mental scaling. I really do because I feel like there's so many things that are in your favor now these days. Because first of all, digital sales are higher more than ever. So it's kind of like you've cut out so much of the middleman. Because to be honest, like we're being real. Like GameStop is on its like last probably
Them having a trade in anything day. Come on, you see,
like and I do feel like especially where these systems are now, especially as of now, it's like yeah, bro, like cut this dude out, let's make back all we need to, and then just like how you said a while ago, That'll be the perfect time for you to enhance your online library of all them old games. Oh, hey, yeah, you want to play the old Ratchets back how they were in the PS2? Like, oh yeah, $10. Have a good day.
Mm.
Don't even upsell it. Like $10.
I agree. The thing that the reason why I asked that is because we know now, right? After having to wait for an indefinite amount of time, we know now that Marvel Spider-Man 2 sold less than Marvel Spider-Man 1, and that played a part into why we never got any story mode DLC, right? But then when the numbers came out, it's like it sold less, but it still sold like 10 million copies. So like in what world is 10 million copies of a video game not enough? Like so when it comes to Wolverine, like when you're saying it does five, it's like, well, five is Expedition 33 numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like five is Hollow Knight Silk Song numbers, right? It's like, does that not warrant a success of like we're not talking albums, we're not talking movies, like we're talking about something that somebody has to literally download or go pick up and play and then commit another 20 to 30 hours of their lives to beat it to completion. And they're buying that by the millions. And you're still like, nah, that's just it's a fail. We you know what I'm saying? We didn't I had to dip into my savings to buy my next yacht, Tim. This is not a win for me. Like that. I think to me, I'm like the AAA market is in a weird place because it kind of feels like the expectations have gotten out of control. Where you
Yeah,
look, yeah,
that's like the scaling.
mm-hmm.
The scaling, man, it's gotten out of control, man. Because I kind of feel like you're not giving things enough room to breathe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To breathe and to actually flourish, man. It's like you're always trying to meet some deadline, like a dopamine deadline, and then once you do hit it, then that's where you just plateau. So
Yeah,
like you wanted all this just to not do anything,
yeah.
not to follow through on anything else to make this experience more grand. No, you probably release one little DLC and then repackage it all together for the holiday season and say we'll see y'all again.
Right. In another 4 or 5 years. Thanks for your support. Yeah, it's. I guess like to move the conversation forward a little bit. What do you think about then the rise of the Eastern market when it comes to their attempts at AAA? Right. Of again where the winds meet, engaging as many million players as it did, or even I don't know if you've seen that trailer for that game that dropped this week. Was it? I think it's called Godslayer, where the guy basically has like avatar powers. Another Eastern game. Like Crimson Desert, another Eastern game. Like, what do you think about the rise of the Asian, the Korean, the Chinese market into the gaming space?
I'm for it. I'm for it. I have always felt like they've always had a particular art style that you just can't deny. And I do feel like, we, especially as much as we are connected now in this world, like you need those things.
Mm,
I do feel like, certain districts of the world, like you could just, there's a particular style and you could sense it in their art form. And, sometimes too much of that could really just, it's too rigid. Like you need things with different types of forms of like storytelling and like even some of those post-apocalyptic games that was created by like, some of these European developers, I was interested in some of them.
mm.
'Cause it's like, I was like, bro, why is everything so depressing? When you look at their weather, yeah,
Yeah,
just
it's
imagine
always
if there's
steampunk
just
over here,
imagine
Tim.
if there's an apocalypse.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's only steampunk over here. That's true. That's true. I guess I guess my other thing is the possibility of things sliding over too far? Do you think where it's gonna get to a space where it's like, do you find yourself in 2 years from now looking forward to the next big Chinese led game because of how the market shifted?
Yeah, I'll be interested to see that. Because like I said, especially like as we grow as a video game community, I would like to see who these people are.
Hmm.
Who are the developers over there? What are their names and what are the and then even like how Joy said, like he was inspired by the Devil May Cry artist.
Mm.
Like, and I do feel like we need these we need to see these things. We need to see these art forms and their ways of like telling the story and putting these characters together, like to create a better world. Like I tell people all the time, like My favorite version of Mega Man is Mega Man Legends.
Hmm.
I felt the Legend style fit who I was as who I am as a person, and like even the words RPGs, I didn't really feel like it was, but technically it was.
Technically, yeah.
But it's the way how I was integrated in it is like it's like an action adventure, but then yes, it's RPG elements in it, and I just loved it. I loved it for what it was, the story, so many things, man. And so I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Um, yeah, just variety, and I feel like that's what we're really needing in this point in time. It's just a lot of variety. We need the variety to really max out because especially since they've confirmed that they're pushing these consoles a little bit further.
Hmm.
Thank you. So now fill in the gaps.
I agree. Like to me, I'm kind of in the same lane or mentality as you of like we're hitting these like 5-year anniversaries for some of these consoles. I'm like, I can count the amount of like must play games probably on my two hands, and not much more than that. Like in terms of like this is a must play. Like you can buy this console for this, but I think like you said is like letting it stretch out a little bit more, letting a little bit more variety get involved. Like I don't know if I can't remember the name, and I'm sorry to the developers because I can't think of it right now. There was a trailer for almost like a Star Fox esque game. Did you see that one?
No.
So basically, it's like a spiritual successor to Star Fox 64, but not Star
Mm.
Fox. And I'm like, good. I can't wait to play it because Nintendo doesn't want to do anything with Fox. You know what I'm saying? I think having these people who have now been raised in the same space as us of like, yo, we've gotten more beat 'em ups in the past 5 years than I think we've had since the 90s. Of people just wanting to try things and not everything worked. Right? I'm like, Rita's Rewind. I'm like, you guys, you should have tried a little bit harder, to be honest. But I think in terms of just the amount of, I guess you could say, must plays that are on the rise that don't bankrupt the studio, right? It's like I don't think, hopefully, right? I'm like, hopefully, sort of the sea sold enough where they don't have to like shutter their building. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
mean, well, all their games have been a hit. All of them.
mm,
All of them. Like even to the point where I saw them doing ads for an old game that they did. Like, hey, if you love Sword of Shield and Sword of the Sea, then
mm,
hey, you remember this guy?
mm,
Well, he's only $5. And honestly, I love that. Like
mm-hmm.
revisit back, like bring some back some of these old titles, man. And honestly, that goes to show you that they have such a faith in their craft, in their ability, and what they do. It's like, yes, like, hey, if you really like this, and maybe you didn't know our name back then, but we also did this too, and it's of the same type of vibe, but just under the sea.
Right, right, right.
You like how that killer whale did that? Well, imagine this. And honestly, I feel like that connection is like that's very smart.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, yeah,
No,
that's what
I agree. I think especially when it comes to like again the mutual appreciation, the price point. If I can get a quality game for under $50, everybody wins, right? It's like there's less hesitation, at least from my end as a consumer of the product, to be like, haven't played a Shinobi game in a while, but $30 might have a really good time. And ended up having a, you know what I'm saying? Like I ended up really enjoying myself. Can't wait for Art of Vengeance 2. I think it's true that there is more space for that to be possible these days. But going back to the topic I had originally went to before I realized we didn't touch on that one. Like I said before, Jory and I kind of gave our general and some specific predictions for the Game Awards that are coming up next week. But obviously, you weren't able to make it for that one. But do you have anything that you expect to see at the Game Awards? Things you're hoping for? Just your general anticipation for the Game Awards in general. Like, what are your thoughts about next week?
honestly, man, this Game Awards is starting to feel like Christmas as an adult. Like it just comes and it goes.
Okay.
Like it just comes and it goes. The next thing you know, like, oh wow, okay. And the next thing you know, it's just January.
Hmm.
Like this one, like okay, there were some Game of the Year nominees. I was just a bit like all right, no offense, but like Donkey Kong, like no offense, like yeah,
Apparently, it's really good.
it's a fun game, yes, but I don't know if Ghost of Yotei was too late to make the mark, but I would just like no go like it. I felt like that was Game of the Year quality to me.
I don't think it was.
Really?
Really. I don't think it was.
Oh, okay. Let me hear your opinion about that.
I think I think it's better in every way to Tsushima. I don't think that's you can't to me. If someone was like Tsushima was better, I'm like you didn't play Yotei then because Yotei is better on every aspect. It's a sequel in a lot of like it just improves on a lot of things.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think the things that it improves upon goes far enough for the
Okay.
game. Like I'd never found myself even hitting the group chat of like, yo, what they did with this like to me, I'm like even the weapon system was a little bit underwhelming. It was just rock paper scissors again, but with a very like a wider variation.
Okay.
Like there was never a point at any time where I'm learning getting the weapon, learning the techniques that are attached to the weapon. Where I'm like, you know what? I think I'm more of a spear user. Why? Because the katana still reigns supreme. You know what I'm saying? Like the weapons were just more so for combat variety, rather than it being like, yo, I am a problem with this spear. So it's like the main thing you're pushing is cool. I'm glad we moved. Like again, way better than the stand system, but not in a way of like, yo, this is I'm getting that feeling again. And then with Atsu, it's like I think Atsu's a great character. However, she's in a very formulaic plot of like outside of maybe one plot twist, I'm like everything else I saw coming because we've seen the revenge tale a million times since we were kids, and they don't do enough with it. It was good. I wouldn't say it was a bad story, but it's just one of those things of like, the overly angry, vengeful character makes some questionable decisions on their road to redemption. Now, where have I seen that Kratos before? Like Joel. Where have I seen this before? So that's why, to me, I'm like, those type of things kind of chip away from it being game of the year, in my opinion. So
I do feel like Claire Obscure Expedition will take you through.
it's gonna be a sweep. They're gonna sweep almost every category they're in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that smaller titles like Hades 2 and Hollow Knight were on there as well because I do
Mm,
feel like they are, especially when you because I feel like Astro Bot really paved the way for things like that.
I agree.
I was like, you know what? To be honest, bro, it don't have to be these big overhaul games anymore. I'm happy to see Silent Hill being nominated for a few things. Because honestly, bro, it looks like the horror genre is really coming back. It really is.
Yeah.
Let me see. Like there was another one, best game direction. Let me see. Oh yeah, look, there's another one. Claire Obscure, Death Stranding, Ghost of Yotei, Hades, Split Fiction. Yeah, I think it's gonna be another sweep, bro. But then, of course, got to do this one for the culture. Best fighting game.
That category. So Jordan and I talked about it last pod. That
Right.
category, I'm like, so you have a beta, a collection of ports, like another collection of ports, and what was the other game? So it was 2XKO, Mortal Kombat, Marvel Capcom collect or Marvel collect Fighting Collection 2, and what was the other one?
Virtua Fighter. No,
Bro.
no, no. It was no. Yeah, the beta, TK,
Mm,
TXAO,
mm.
Capcom Fighting Collection, Fatal Fury, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which I found crazy. It's like, bro, so they clearly bought this.
Yes.
I was like, yes, bro, those reviews, bro. If the biggest Mortal Kombat content creators who've been in this legacy for almost as just as long as Mortal Kombat say like they're like, nah, bro,
Yeah. Who
come
are we
on,
fooling?
who are we
Fighting game
fooling?
of the year, please. Yeah, like, but even with all those things, I'm like, I still don't think Fatal Fury is gonna win. That's the crazy part. Fatal Fury is like the only new game on that list. I'm like, it's not gonna win. It will probably lose. If there's gonna be an upset, it'll be 2SKO. Like Fatal Fury, I know we got a lot of flack the last time we spoke about it, but I'm like, yo, no one is talking about this game. It never comes up. You never see a clip. I feel like that Mai and Chun Li trailer came and went. No one talks about it. It's just like yeah. Fatal Fury's there if you want to play it. You and your 5 friends and nobody else online. It's like what this should in theory this should be a shoe in to win. And I'm just like I don't know. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 was pretty fire. They had the best version of your SNK game on there. I don't know. I don't know what your chances are.
Yeah, Capcom versus Fighting Collection is going to take it. I don't feel like Fatal Furies it delivered enough.
Mm,
Virtua Fighter, I'm
mm.
happy for them and all that they're trying to do, but yeah, you still stuck in this limbo, and you kind of like baited us for a new game, and no.
Bro, we all know what the streets just want 6. We don't care about 5 remixed, repackaged. Give us 6. Like give us the Akira with a unique design. There was one thing I wanted to ask you about in terms of the Game Awards because I realized Jordan and I didn't realize it at the time, and I thought it was an interesting thing that I saw online. How do you feel about Sonic the Hedgehog 3 not being nominated for best film adaptation?
Robbery,
Right? I'm like that feels a little crazy.
robbery, bro.
Like, like what?
Like all this momentum was built around Shadow on multiple sides, on the gaming side, the movie side, and it's just like, bro, what?
I think whoever was on that panel legitimately forgot that movie came out. That's the only I'm like, there's no way you thought like, of course, Fallout, Last of Us, and you didn't think Sonic the Hedgehog 3?
First of all, that's a slap in the face. I mean, because especially after, I mean, it was technically Sonic the Hedgehog one when they had that. You saw how much it cost to redesign that whole hedgehog, bro. Give this dude his respect.
Yeah, that movie was not cheap to make by any means. And yeah, I think we talked about it on the pod. I'm like, I liked Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Surprisingly. I didn't think I was going to. I was like, ew, this is Shadow for some reason where things can easily go left. I don't know why. I feel like after Sonic Adventure 2, it's like anytime he's included, it's like it's a coin toss in terms of the quality of the product. But I'm like, they actually did their thing. And it's not even nominated.
That was robbery.
Yeah. So any surprise trailers you're looking forward to?
Honestly, bro, I would love to see a trailer from. I would love to see an intergalactic trailer.
Really?
Like like. I do feel like it's been a while. I do feel like it's been a while. I would like to see something from this area of life. Um, I mean, Sony. Period. I'm still a Sony fan, even after all what they've done in certain areas. But I would love to see something from them. And then I would love to see it from a studio that has been dormant too. Like I said, I still stand by say, like, bro, y'all acquired all these studios. I want to see what these people are working on.
I don't know what to tell you. You've seen the reports over the past year. Every other studio that we didn't hear from was working on a live service game of some sort that got canceled. So I don't know how much of a upset you're going to be looking at trailer wise when it comes to the awards. I'm a little surprised at Intergalactic though. Like I get it, we haven't seen anything since the last Game Awards. I'm just like, it wasn't even a gameplay trailer. Like it was 5 minutes of cutscene.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I do feel like, all right, at least like a minor combat trailer. Like I just want to see something. I just want to see something.
I mean, do you want to transition into the reports that were Intergalactic is not is more likely not going to see a 2026 release date?
Uh, Optimistic, yes.
I don't think so. I think because there was that whole controversy of the which I think is going to do a lot of damage to gaming reporting in general, where people were falsely reporting that because of a podcast conversation that was had with Colin Moriarty, where he's like, he feels like and thinks like there might be more intergalactic news. They kind of took away the feel and think and said, Colin Moriarty confirms that there will be more intergalactic at the Game Awards, and they'll have a 2026 release date. And he's been fairly upset about that because obviously it's a twisting of his words. And then the report is like, we probably won't see it at the Game Awards, and it probably is still years away from release. Like, it's starting to feel like how Uncharted felt on the PS3 of like, you're not going to see this until like the end of the PS5 console cycle, probably.
You know what? You're probably right. Naughty Dog has done that before because The Last of Us 2 was that game too.
Yeah, right before the PS5 launched. Like I said, my PS4 was on fire trying to play Last of Us 2 on there. Cause I ain't even had the Pro, I had the base, the original base PS4. I could hear the in there.
Hmm.
Anything else? I feel like I'm asking you things. You're not really giving me any of your like.
No, honestly, bro, like I'm kind of just tapped out. I'm just gonna really just wait and see.
Okay,
Yeah, because
okay.
honestly, this year has been very, like I said, the things, so many things have changed. So it's kind of like, what do you even expect anymore?
Eh, all I know is if I get any type of teaser trailer for the next Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy 7, let me be more specific, entry. I don't care what else happens at the Game Awards. That's all I want. I'm like, remake and rebirth were already good. I just want to see how this trilogy ends. Nothing else matters for me at this point. Everything else is like either years off or I feel overhyped. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not even to be try to be like pessimistic. I'm just like you said, there's been so many fluctuations of things where we're privy to information that we never knew before. Of like, yeah, I do want to play Grand Theft Auto 6, but also the whole thing with the workers. Now I'm like, but my inner,
And that's where the break nostalgia glass came in with Red Dead Redemption. Like,
yeah.
it's like, hey, we need to keep their attention. Like, break.
Yeah. Oh, y'all have one of them 60 frames per second on the PS5? Say less. I mean, which will work because now I'm about to re-download Red Dead Redemption 4 so I can play it. I'll be honest, I'm like, you got me. But as far as I know, no one was mistreated during the development of that game, so my morale is at peace. I know nothing about the back cycle of that game. But yeah. Um, I'm glad you brought up that topic because that was something we wanted to discuss tonight. As far as the amount of changes we've seen in the gaming industry over the past year, 2 years, the amount of companies that we once thought were, undeniable in what they were doing, their presentation, the rollouts, the games they had on their docket, we've seen struggle and fumble and really come across as out of touch. So the ones that are showing a little bit more, we've kind of seen them kind of, like you said, press the Red Dead button for Rockstar, or in Warner Brothers' case, oh, the Mortal Kombat collection, immediately gets greenlit now that Mortal Kombat 1 was like flailing about. So one of the things we discussed in the group chat of like, what is, for some of these bigger companies, what do you think their break glass in case of emergency game would be?
Honestly, a big good example was EA when they did Dead Space, and now it's kind of backfiring because people want Dead Space 2
Hmm.
because they feel like what you did with Dead Space 1 was actually pretty good. Now we want 2. But then EA is like, hey, that's kind of like on ice right now. We ain't really feeling that. And people are like, what?
Right.
So you just play it in our faces, and then now you just,
Dangle the
to be
carrot.
honest, Ubisoft, I mean, for the rumors, it's Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, um, or anything Prince of Persia, because apparently that last Sands of Time that kind of just went ghost, apparently they said that's still happening.
I don't
So,
know, bro, but
so,
we'll
so
see.
yeah, Assassin's Creed and Prince of Persia, that's there too, nostalgia,
Okay.
gifts of life. I mean, Capcom, I mean, I think they got one more Mega Man collection up there in
Do,
their arsenal.
outside of the one that they're about to release soon, the other one that they got announced with those games I had never heard of up until that collection.
Um, or I mean, or with them, they might remake five. A lot of people have been asking for it, surprisingly.
Remake
A
Street Fighter
lot of,
Five.
no, no, no. A remake of Resident Evil Five.
I'm like, what?
A lot because it's like, bro, people is like, bro, we miss Sheva. We want Sheva, and it kind of look like they on the Caucasian side of things in terms of protagonists
Hmm.
moving forward. But it's just
I
like, yeah,
think there. Do you think that with that random or random side topic, do you think they're a little bit hesitant because of the premise of five?
uh, kind of, yeah.
You know, it feels a little like, granted, obviously the motivation for why you end up there makes sense within the world, but like from a, imagine explaining that game to somebody who's not familiar with Resident Evil. Like, yeah, so a white guy goes to Africa.
Where an outbreak
Where
happens,
an outbreak happens and has to essentially murder the mutated locals in pursuit of justice against his corporation. You know, yeah. That to me, I'm like, I think that's where the hesitation comes from. Of like, it's true to the story. I don't think, from what I can remember, I'm like, I don't think they did anything like egregious, but it's just the simple idea of like, I, 2025 social media era. I could hear the TikToks. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we're tired of the white savior.
man. No, but you're right about that. Um, well, what's another good company? Um, did Capcom already? I mean, Bandai has actually been doing good in terms of the PlayStation side of things. They've been releasing. I mean, they released Tekken 3, and apparently on the PlayStation Store, and apparently people are just loving that. So, so even in terms of break nostalgia glass, could also be updating digital library with old classics. That also is a way of doing it.
True. I think for Bandai, it would be a Tekken collection, though. I think it'd be like an outright, like if they were like desperate, it'd be like, here's Tekken 1 through 6. Here, remastered in 60 frames per second.
No, I don't think they would ever go back to six, bro. Um, to be honest, like I really feel like the biggest revival for Tekken right now would be to do a tag combat update. Like, I mean, well, they've already released Tekken One. I think, yeah, Tekken One, Two, and Three on the PlayStation Store through the PlayStation Classics.
Hmm.
Um, Four and five. Apparently, apparently while we was in high school, Dark Resurrection was the
Really?
yeah. Apparently, bro, like people apparently dudes, especially in that PSP era, like dudes love Dark Resurrection. I was more of a Tekken 4 kind of guy.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I was heavily into the arcade Tekken 4 era. Um,
I didn't like playing fighting games on my PSP. That was really my thing. I'm like,
I mean,
how?
with during free period, bro, like just whipped it out and just started going ham, put in your headphones. But uh, what would you think?
um, I feel like Warner Brothers would not have. I think they're out of options at this point. Like like when we proposed the idea, I was trying to go through some of the bigger studios. I'm like, I think Mortal Kombat Collection was like their last go to. They packaged the Arkham series 45 different times to us already. You know, you can't do that. Um, I don't think even a collection two. It's like, yeah, Shaolin Monks would be great to have accessible, but that's it. You know, like if you do like a
And then,
Shadow of Mordor collection, does anybody care?
especially after what just happened, it's like, do we even trust you?
Right. You know, so I'm like, sir, like I think Warner Brothers would kind of be cooked. You know, if it count, I think they've broken the glass already, pretty much.
And to be honest, it's like, all right. due to like what they online, because especially, but that means you would have to revive the online for the Shadow Mordor games, because it's like you're not just going to just give us a story. I mean, Sony has done it, but then games like that, it's like, no, you can't do that.
Mhm. Yeah, but that was a company I was like, I don't even know what they would do. Bandai, like I
To
said,
be honest, I feel like the Arkham Asylum, I mean Arkham City, Lego Batman, I feel like that's breaking nostalgia glass
I think so
on two
too.
fronts.
I think so
Oh,
too.
you want Lego Batman, but with Arkham style beat 'em up gameplay?
That
Lego Batman,
that covers the history of the movies. Yeah, yeah. I think
and
they've
then
already
it's
it's bad. I think I think Ubisoft could always pull off an Assassin's Creed 2 remake if they needed to.
after the Exio collection. I don't think we need to
I'm,
revisit that.
I'm telling you, Tim.
That's too much. That's too
I
much.
I would agree, but I'm like, I see that, or like a remake of like Far Cry 3. Like there's certain games I think they would kind of
They've
pull out
already
to.
done they've already done a remaster of that.
I'm talking about a remake.
Okay. Okay.
It seems to be working for a lot of multiple properties. I'm not saying they would work either, but I'm like, I could see them trying it. Or,
Yeah, because
mm,
they did a remaster for when they did the I think it was the PS4 cycle. They called it the Far Cry 3 Classic Edition.
mm,
Basically the story, but none of the multiplayer aspects. Because I remember that game did have like co-op multiplayer and stuff.
yeah, and I think all the DLC came with it or something like that. The other thing I thought about for them, and again, most of these things are just kind of like remasters essentially. What if they gave us the version of Watch Dogs that we saw at the E3 trailer?
Like that is a franchise that just came on, bro. It was a cool concept.
It was a
It was,
dope concept.
it was a
Yeah.
cool concept, but I just kind of felt like it just got lost.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happens with a lot of Ubisoft titles. Like they just release it and just get lost in the midst of everything else, and it's just like, oh, what happened to this series?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like some of their games that they released in a certain time period, they were more niche based.
Hmm.
There's certain people who gravitated toward it and loved it, did cosplays of it, and then there's just everybody else.
And it just so happened to sell, and then that's when it kind of went off the rails. Um, who else? Who else did I have an idea for? Break glass in case of emergency.
I mean, we've covered most of the big dogs
Yeah,
already.
we did.
We've done that. Like, Bandai done it, Capcom has done it multiple times. It's just, yeah, Warner Brothers did it. Sometimes it's just like people who are hurting right now or who need a distraction.
Hmm.
Like I said, Grant, the Grant Rockstar. Oh yeah, like 60 frames per second, Red Dead Redemption.
I didn't even think about that till you said. I was like, you right. Hey, we're doing a Grand Theft Auto Online update, and we're bringing back one of the main characters. Oh, look at him! Look at Michael! Look at older Michael!
Break you out.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I think most of these companies have done it. I think,
I mean, because EA technically doesn't need it because they're in good waters for
yeah.
now with Battlefield. So
And even with college football, it's been selling really well also for them.
yeah,
I was gonna say I think Konami would finally give us the Ninja Turtle games we wanted if it really came down to it.
really.
I think so.
Hmm.
If it really came down to it,
I do feel like they do need something in the chamber because I don't think that Snake Eater Delta, like I was like, bro, y'all really think this is going to save y'all in terms of finances? I was like, no.
it's already on sale. Just saying.
Yeah, bro, because like I think they really underestimated how loyal people are to Kojima, especially after what happened with Metal Gear Solid 5. It's like, bro, like, nah, we don't mess with you like that, homie.
Yeah.
If you give us a Yu-Gi-Oh game,
I
we can
don't.
talk.
I don't know. I know that I've been keeping up on Yu-Gi-Oh more than you and Jory. Yu-Gi-Oh is actually really complicated now. Like even as just outside of like, there's so many new mechanics since our era of like, unless you were just gonna do like a dual monsters era proper and it end there with some obviously some updated cards and things like that. I'm like, bro, some of these mechanics, I'm like, fam, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, your board is full and now I don't get a turn? What? Like, what just happened? It's like, yeah, I did a pendulum summon to bring out Blue Eyes, Absolute Lock Dragon, and now you can't draw a card for the next three. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh will get it done. Like right now, they're struggling to kind of keep Yu-Gi-Oh in the same pocket as like even Magic the Gathering because it's so. You look at it, especially from our era, bro. Like you look at it, like I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. I only used to see the standard card, the blue card for rituals, and the purple card for fusions. I don't know what these colors are. Like, what type of card is this? A what? A link monster? I don't know what that means.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh gets it done.
What are other properties? I mean, well, um, Konami is Silent Hill, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yes. Actually, yeah, you know what? They actually are doing good. I'll take that back. Silent Hill is actually.
that's not enough.
I mean, no, I'm not saying it's not enough,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's a good start.
Hmm.
A good start. I would definitely give them credit in that area. Um, yeah, I mean, we just have to see, man. It's a waiting game right now. When you really look at it.
But
There'll be some subtle hints, but I do feel like Ubisoft is the biggest contender right now in terms of because they are desperate need of a revival.
bruh, I think they're cooked. Like, when I saw that Assassin's Creed, no, sorry, the Assassin's Creed Attack on Titan crossover. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, because Far Cry 6 didn't really do that good. It was bait because they were they wanted to give you that Far Cry 3 feeling like yeah you're now on another island again. The whole Cubas or Giancarlo and it's like but he was just basically a glorified cameo.
Yeah,
I
it's
was like
they're it's over, bro. I
yeah.
I don't see
So
a world where Ubisoft like rights the ship at this point.
yeah, three, 4, and 5, they were able to do some good work, but then that was just it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because some of the other bigger companies, I'm like, I don't think they're ever gonna have a break glass.
Actually, Far Cry 2, the African one, like no, actually, that's where I got into the Far Cry series. I felt like if they were to go back to that with much better mechanics, that would actually be a good because
Oh,
people have been saying like, yeah, man, we miss Far Cry 2. Like it had its flaws, yes, but there were some things that they felt like, all right, if you would just revisit this back with a much better vision,
hmm.
I would love this.
You think that would do better than another Far Cry Primal?
Oh, Far Cry Primal was horrible.
That's what I'm saying. What they did it right this time?
No, because first of all, Primal was a very, I feel like that was like a DLC idea that they just turned into a main game. It's like you play as a what?
I thought the concept was cool.
Yeah, like no, no, no. Sometimes, bro, there's some board meetings where they are on shrooms, and they just be like greenlit. I was like, bro, what?
Yeah, to me, whoever greenlit the Attack on Titan crossover, I'm like, oh, you were high, high. You looked at Naruto and said, nah, ninjas in Japan, nah, Titans will get it done. Like, what? You you chose Eren Yeager over Naruto for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Cool. All right, you got it. This is your anime crossover that's gonna get it done. Cool, cool, cool. For Square Enix, what did they do to Final Fantasy VIII remake? You think that's their break classic case of emergency?
Um,
Because they've done seven. Like, there's not much more they can do with seven at this point. They've done all the seven.
I would like for them to do something else.
Then a remake?
Yeah, then another Final Fantasy reboot. I feel like that's just going to be another overhaul issue again. Um,
But everything else that they tried hasn't worked. They did Foam Stars, trash.
I would love for them to try the city again. I would love for give it a chance, babe. Give it a chance. Like, just give it a chance. Cause I mean, I know the people want other Final Fantasy remakes. I know that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of feel like where they are now, that's too much overhaul.
I mean, Tim, you saw the new Dissidia game that's on the way. I don't want no more Dissidia nothing, and this is what we're doing. You saw that cloud outfit.
If that's what we're doing.
If this is what we're doing, it's okay. I'll always have my memories of Dissidia and Dissidia Duodecim. I don't. Please, please. The console game should have been a home run, and it just. I don't know what the demo. I remember playing the demo. I'm like, what is happening? Why is this happening? This should be amazing, and it's not, and I don't know why. But yeah, I think those are all the really big ones, right? I'm like, Nintendo's not falling off anytime soon.
No, because Nintendo have some Nintendo doing witchcraft on their loyalists. Like it's like they can't do no wrong. I know the new Metroid game is getting a lot of mixed reviews. Um, yeah, I just kind of feel like they kind of took away what made Metroid. Like it's a very isolating sci-fi type of experience. Like, and you're just like, oh yeah, let's just give her a bike,
Not
like
only
a sci-fi Mad Max.
yes,
It's like,
but so okay, I have two thoughts on this. One, I agree with you. I think it's very disappointing the way that this last Metroid seems to have been handled. But on the other hand,
actually,
mm,
Pokemon Company has done a break glass situation. Remember that game about that Ditto and it's like Animal Crossing.
you think that's the break
Apparently,
glass?
no. Here's the reason why. Apparently, in the story synopsis, it takes in a post-apocalyptic Kanto, and they release some details about what happened to some of them cities. Oh, Vermilion City is now flooded. Flooded what? And I just kept reading. Like, I kept reading. Oh, Cinnabar Island has become a. I was like, yeah, break nostalgia. Let's go back to Kanto, guys.
For an Animal Crossing style game? That's crazy. It's not even necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like it.
Because I was wondering, like, so why did Ditto take a shape or the form of a human?
Mhm.
It was basically because it was finally it was like in like hibernation in its Pokeball, and it finally released, and it saw a picture of a human, and I didn't. It didn't really hit me like, but wait, what happened to the humans? I was like, oh, it's a Fallout version of the Kanto.
That that's a horrible premise. I'm not gonna hold you.
That means Mewtwo somewhere.
Yeah, that's a horrible premise. Oh my gosh, that's not what I was expecting to hear. Honestly,
Yeah. So I mean, so even in terms of breaking the nostalgia glass, like it's even ways where they could innovate into a new game with just an old concept. Hey, let's return back to Kanto. That's how I felt about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Is like I was like, why did you give us this when we already had Fire Red and Leaf Green? Oh, but these are for more with Pokemon Go
yeah,
mechanics.
but no
I was like,
mechanics.
but why would you
No,
need a double version for a game that was technically the third version? And that was the history. Like it was the third version, like yellow, crystal, emerald, platinum. Why did and I was like, oh, so y'all really about to like just ditch the whole third version idea and just break it down into two? Like, oh, but back then you could only choose Pikachu, but now you could have the choice to choose Eevee. I was like, okay, but you still had the chance to get Eevee when you get to Celadon City. So your whole argument about that is pointless.
yeah. But like you said, they've already hypnotized their audience because it's like having the two different versions was cool on the Game Boy days when the Game Boy games were $20-$30. These games now are like $60 each. So this whole thing of like you said of like, well, you get an exclusive Pokemon. It's like not for another $60. Like, are you crazy? Like, especially for something like you said, it's a glorified port essentially with carried over textures, tech demo textures for these games. It's like this is not gonna cut it anymore. But we say all this, and then it still sells millions of copies. So what do we know, right? Like, what do we know about the audience of what they like when it comes to those Pokemon anything at this point? But with Metroid, I don't think Nintendo cares anymore about Samus. I don't think Nintendo cares about anything that isn't Mario or Zelda.
until the movie comes out.
Even then, what do you well, like? What other like? Think about it. All their biggest tie-ins can be swept underneath the Mario bridge. You have Mario and Donkey Kong. You have Yoshi. You have all the little, uh, upside down versions of the characters. You could throw in Wario at some point, Waluigi. You know what I'm saying? Like, what other things do they have that they feel matter enough to really push it? I really feel once the day Sakurai retires, we'll never see Kirby again. That's how I feel.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird the way they move with such iconic, like the fact that we're seeing mixed reviews on Metroid, where Metroid was so influential, it's the name of a genre of gaming, a Metroidvania. They don't call it a Castlevania like game; they call it a Metroid like game. And y'all don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had this game in development for 8 years, and it comes out to middling reviews. One of the most influential games of that genre. It's like y'all don't care. It just feels like the bare minimum effort for maximum profits every time, no matter what the thing is. And if it's not doing Mario or Zelda numbers, you'll just never see it again. Star Fox, F-Zero, you'll just never see it again. Kirby's Air Riders felt like a bribe from Sakurai. Like, if you wanted the Smash Brothers, I need a Kirby game. Like, it's weird. So I guess last couple of topics. Um, mm, 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 mm. How do you feel about Xbox collaborating with Crocs? Will you be getting a pair of the $80 controller sneakers or controller slide-ons? I should say sandals.
Oh, that is just like I know you want to just it kind of just play the old yellow treatment. It's needed at this point.
I respect Xbox for when you see somebody who it's like watching a person who was the man in high school in terms of football, so he still has that old high school football jersey because it still kind of fits, or jacket because it still kind of fits, or they still have their class ring, or you'll see like the girl who's aged a little bit but still thinks she's like the one from when she was in college or whatever the case may be. I feel like that's how it is with Xbox and their logo of like, we're gonna put Xbox on a MetaQuest, we're gonna put Xbox on Crocs, we're gonna put Xbox on these things. People are gonna want to copy. It's like, fam, we don't want this. Who is this for? What is this for? I'm not saying like there's anything else you could do to really hurt the brand, to be honest. But how does this help? I've never once thought to myself, oh man, I could definitely see Jory in some Xbox Crocs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that.
No, honestly, man, that is. I mean, some loyalist is going to buy it just because, but it's just like, bro, like, I mean, and that's also the dark side of consumerism as well. You know, it's dumb, but it's
Just keeps calling me, man. You just keep calling me.
like that boyfriend is just gonna walk like unashamed in his apartment and just has it like on his shelf. Like no, like I said, yeah, a Jordan head,
hmm
like a shoe collector is gonna buy it, bro.
Sure, right, sure. I done my little shorts video that I did, and people were kind of going back and forth about which company makes the best company related merch. And somebody made a point. It was like, if it's not Nintendo or PlayStation, we don't want to see it in terms of like PlayStation has some dope beanies. I know Nintendo has some like amazing socks. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the things that I think of in terms of cross branding. I would never wear like PlayStation controller sneakers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what does that even look like? Maybe some shoes with the PlayStation logo on it, but I'm not wearing like, oh man, it got the DualSense haptic feedback, triggers right underneath the cushioning of the shoe. It's like this. What is this? What are we doing? So I just in the world of the crossovers that we've seen lately, when we're going through the list of all the things of the news, I'm like, I did not expect to be like, yeah, let's see what the guys think about Xbox and Crocs doing something together because
It's not even desperate anymore. It's just, yeah, we already know we're spread thin, but just let's just have some fun.
slap an Xbox sticker on this.
Yeah, just slap an Xbox stick on it and see who buys it.
But our last topic for the night, and this was kind of prompted by another short that I did, and a common comment that I kept getting on those shorts was I had posted a short about finally the anime debut of Bonnie getting her Gear 5 like transformation in the Egghead arc. And I posed a question of like, does this I said it two ways. I said I'm glad that Bonnie had a moment to fight on somewhat of an even level playing field with the people who traumatized her family. Like obviously there wasn't any other way for her to be able to hit one of the
I
elders.
like that as a build up because
Yes.
like as you were seeing it, it's like, bro, like they was really upset that the master override was given to her.
Yeah.
Like them dudes were upset. He's like, Vagabondu.
Mm.
I was like, oh, bro, that is a slap in the face. Like, because dude knew y'all was going to betray him.
Mm.
And so, you know what? Let's make this a little funny.
Yeah. A little failsafe. So like I like again thematically I'm on board. Story wise I'm on board. But what I said was on the flip side, I understand how her powers work. It's whatever she imagines for herself she can do. And her only limitation is endurance. Of like the more powerful thing that she imitates, the less endurance she has. But for her to not only mimic an awakened devil fruit power, but also hockey at the same time, after we watched an entire training arc, two training arcs of Luffy learning hockey and hockey like abilities, what does this say in terms of like, are they doing too much too soon? And one of the comments I get was like, "Oh, here come power scalers ruining every conversation with the anime again." I'm like,
No, because
"What?"
remember what we said in terms of like One Piece. I don't think there is certain levels of power scaling in One Piece. I think it's more about technique
I would
because
agree with you, but look
bec-
at the Kaido fight.
that fight, yes, but then also remember the Marine Ford arc. There was, I mean, well, first of all, there was a lot of plot armor in that
One
scene
thousand percent.
because,
Luffy should have died upon touching the
but
ground.
it's just like, okay, I get it. Due to these abilities, there are certain ways that certain people who might not necessarily be have physical power, but technique wise, they are a bit of service in this area.
Hmm.
Now, in terms of her power, which is, I guess, distortion, that's limitless in some form of a way. Like, I think it's only limited to how she views herself.
Hmm.
Like, because remember, like, even what Vagabond said, like, you still don't know what it is yet. You still don't know. But once she figures it out, it's kind of like, wow, you now, once you really understand what your powers are, you could be on the same level of him. Because in some ways, his powers is like, all right, well, I get it. It's an animation. Like his power is literally almost an animation in a
Hmm.
sense, a Looney Tune.
He can break the rules of the world.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's a Looney Tune.
Hmm.
So like you could be on the par as that. But now your powers, since you really know what that is, because you thought it was just age, like no, you are much more than that. That's another reason why they wanted you dead.
Mm.
Because imagine if they were able to figure out how they made this fruit power work, replicated what that could do for them. But
Right.
you, a person, like, first of all, the power wasn't even given to you, it was given to your mother. But then her mother, it didn't pass down, it didn't sync with her, it synced with her offspring, which
Mm-hmm.
was you. So it's like, yeah, like both of them are two high category threats. So I mean, I do feel like they might do something to balance it in a way because I don't think they should just joy boy, joy girl to the end.
Yeah.
But I do feel like there's gonna be she's gonna find something else, and especially when she like actually reconnects with her father and stuff like that. You just never know. But I do feel like there will be some form of a I do feel like there will be some form of a light balancing. I would say light because in the One Piece world.
I was gonna say one of the other comments, which you reminded me of when you said that, they said, which I didn't even think about, and it made a lot of sense, right? Because, like you said, the distorted future, she can alter her age and therefore alter the ages of others until she realizes her powers can do more. So, what the comment said was, I can't wait until Bonnie is giving other people the power of Gear 5.
That
Like
kind of just
almost like the
reminds.
Kurama cloak in the Great Ninja War.
Uh,
Bruh, hey,
I,
hey.
I know One Piece is not a copycat, but I hope it doesn't do that because I even thought that was a. I mean, I didn't say it wasn't lame when it happened in the war. I understood it
Mm-hmm.
for the time being, but no, no. And I feel like that's the
Just
power with One Piece. Like One Piece does give character driven arcs. Like, no, we don't have to do all that because first of all right, we already know this giant arc. Usopp is getting something.
mm,
Usopp is getting something regardless.
mm-hmm,
We already know that for a fact.
mm.
Especially with all these weapon devil fruit powers popping up, and it's like, come on, come on. Like that is just
Right.
right there in your face. So, um, I mean, well, to be honest, I think what will be a cool power for her since she has the highest override, maybe she could control the Paphistas.
So does the override give her power over just them or over the
I think it's
seraphim as well?
all like the mechanisms that he had, like the sea beasts,
Okay.
the Paphistas, and because remember the Paphistas are like the the same Paphistas after the warlords are the same type, well, different models, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but like they have an override.
Hmm.
So I mean, so that would be cool to see.
With their broken abilities too. Like, yeah, they all
Hey,
have King's Endurance, 2 Devil Fruits. I'm like, all right, all right, you got it. But I guess to generalize the conversation a little bit more, do you feel like, and we all kind of come to this conclusion with modern Dragon Ball at least. Do you feel like the age and the era of traditional power scaling in anime is over with? And it's just more so whatever fits the story at the time.
um, yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, I don't think everything is going to take a big dip like how Dragon Ball Z and Super did.
Hmm.
I do feel like certain animes as of now they've realized that that was a big fault, and they're going to really focus on character arcs where you can see a lot of progression of growth. Like for example, like Deku. Oh no, not Deku. Tanjiro. You saw like different character arcs where Tanjiro had to implement different styles. Like even the fight when they raided the village of the swordsmiths,
Hmm.
like he had to learn some techniques from Zenitsu to increase his speed.
Hmm.
Now, did he have to use it every time? No.
Hmm.
But was it cool? Yes. Um, Even when he learned the mixture of okay, yeah, since water was my first lesson, I still use it, but I still use sun breathing as well.
Yeah. I use
Cool.
water defensively, sun offensively. Hmm.
Yeah. So like there's ways to do it. Um Yeah, because I kind of feel like people peep that from Dragon Ball Z and they don't ever want that again. Because like even in terms of actually no, to be honest, one show, but that's just they just been bad since the beginning was Boruto. Like Boruto's power scaling was just all over the place. One minute they're super Genin, the
Yes.
next they're not. Next, oh no, only Boruto could do it. But then it's just like, bro, are y'all not the children of these S class
Right.
ninjas?
These reincarnated aliens. Like, yeah.
Like, like especially like for example, Sai and Ino's kid, like, bro, you should be intolerant to all genjutsu. Like your dad is was part of a rogue Ambu Black Ops.
With all types of
And
forbidden
then he
seals
taught
and
his own student that he just met how to break your own genjutsus of his wife, but didn't teach you. Come on, I was like, bro, come on. Like I was like, and then yeah, and then even like Choji's daughter, it's like, so you're just taking this butterfly mode just for aesthetic.
just
I was like,
because.
bro,
Yeah. Yeah.
disrespect.
Yeah. Just because.
Yeah. That's one example of a shit. Like power scaling was just all over the place, bro. Like it just was not making sense.
Yeah. To me, I I'm somewhat for it because, like you said, it allows for more characters to be implemented, right? Of like that's always been the struggle of the things that we enjoy about Dragon Ball. Of like at this point, there's been so many power ups. It really is hard to get Tien and Yamcha and Krillin involved because everyone is 40 times stronger than the best they can muster as human beings. Versus you do a story where it's like you said, a little bit more technique driven, where it's like you don't like one thing I always appreciated about Bleach is that I think Bleach did a pretty decent job of not making anyone too much stronger than the other. Like there was exceptions, of course, but I'm like outside of like Aizen, outside of Yuhabak, it's like yo, this any of these fights kind of go anyway. Like there was never a time where I felt like Kenpachi's here. I guess the fight's over. It's like no, he could still lose depending on the ability of the other person.
Yeah, even when he fought Noritora, he realized, all right, you know what? I am taking this a little too far. Let me finish this.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, bro, I'm losing a lot of blood.
Yeah.
I feel a little lightheaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even in terms of, I remember when the head captain fought like Stark, because the head captain thought like he thought Toshiro was probably the strongest. Like, no, he's technically a prodigy.
Mm.
Like, yeah, within 100 years he will surpass me, but
Mm.
you got me right now. So
Yeah.
like this. So there's instances like that. Like you could definitely understand. Like even sometimes the lieutenants they surprised me sometimes.
Mm?
I would have never thought it would have been Izuru who would have finished off Birdman. Bro. I was like, bro, what?
He's real the zombie.
I was like, bro. No, but a person like Mario, I already know it's gonna be a mixed bag. Like, but then you always remember he's has this weird way of being 5 steps ahead of you
Mm-hmm.
and just wins the battle on some weird
Right.
way because
Why?
he's weird.
Yeah.
He's unorthodox by nature.
Yeah.
So he's gonna win in a very unorthodox way.
Him and Kisuke. Kisuke is the same way of like when we saw some of his fights of like that's Benahime? What? Like what?
Yeah, because when he fought Aizen, he realized like, yeah, I probably know you probably don't fuse with it due to your ego, so I
Mm-hmm.
can't kill you, but I can seal you.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole fight with him and Yorichi and Ichigo's dad, that was just a ruse.
Yeah.
So, like, and when I saw it, I was like, bro, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Okay,
To me, like I said, I think Bleach has done it the most consistently out of most of these big shows. Like you said, Naruto fell off a cliff somewhere in terms of, hey, now there's literal gods and aliens, and then there's the rest of y'all. One Piece, apparently this depends on the arc, because my pushback is always again, all this sounds good, but Kaido's the whole way they define Kaido. I'm like Kaido, you have to have a power scaling conversation because of this character. You can't avoid it.
bro, that was a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, there was so many things of like, oh, your hockey can't even touch me. I'm like, that's power
When he
scaling.
fought, and then when he fought when he fought Yamato, is like, okay, this was a very electrifying battle.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We talk about it all the time where I'm like, did Luffy really beat Katakuri? You know what I'm saying? There's just certain things that like, yo, you've introduced certain characters here and there, of like you kind of gotta have the power scaling conversation to some degree. Like we talked about it when it happened of like, how strong is Kizaru? You know what I'm saying? Like on one hand, he's scared of Rayleigh, but then he's also open to fighting Luffy in Gear 5, and he's not really losing. Like, I don't understand.
But then that's where I kind of feel like when it came to him, like it's more about, I would say, technique.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to be honest, like, really, especially, like, we've proven the theory that the vice captains are very close to the captain. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
whenever they see him, they see the second coming of Gold Roger.
Right.
So it's like, you don't really know how really strong he is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think certain people of a certain era know. It's like, so that, like, bro, when dude shows up, everybody, like, hands up, like, all right, we know we got a little out of hand.
Right.
It's like when the principal, like when the principal showed up on the sandbox, but like, all right, all right, all right.
Yeah, we can talk it out. It's okay. I don't, no need to give us all the tension. We're good.
Yeah, like so. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, it's interesting, man. I mean, in terms of power scaling, I still believe that Buggy's gonna pull her eyes in on us in
No,
some way,
no.
bro. It's like right there, the biggest gag, the biggest. It's gonna be something, bro.
I
It's
don't.
gonna be
I don't
something.
think so. I don't think, especially after everything that happened recently with Blackbeard's backstory. I'm like, I think
I
it was
mean,
a,
he might be connected.
but
I
I guess
mean,
spoiler alert for One Piece readers or watchers. But in the flashback with Blackbeard's dad, it was only Blackbeard and his mom before his dad was wiped out by the Marines. Or not technically the Marine, technically the Valley Knights, and Emu, but he was like, it seemed like he was just the one child, like the last living descendant of Davy Jones.
there's always a hidden child, bro.
I just.
There's always a hidden child. It's like there have been subtle hints between him and Buggy for like a little bit, subtle, subtle hints. Like the first major one was when they showed the fight when they had that. It was the Roger Pirates versus the White Bear Pirates, and it was like he was talking to Shanks. He's like, "Yo, this dude just keeps looking at me," and then you found out in the flashbacks when they fought, Buggy was the one who kicked his teeth out.
Hmm.
So I was like, "Bro, like there's something here." I mean, and One Piece has this weird way of just reconnecting so much, man.
Yeah, I guess maybe there's also a part of me that's like, I don't need that many connections anymore. Like I think we did it. Like once they revealed Shanks's brother being a holy knight, I'm like, we did it. We've connected. Everything in this circle has come full circle, literally at this point. Of like the family tree, the different clans, the different races. Like we did it already. We don't. I don't need any more like you said, hidden siblings at this point. Any more like, oh, you thought this character who clearly died in, in an explosion 3 years ago. Oh no, they're fine. It was like, oh yeah, remember when Robin lost Saul? Saul is perfectly okay. It's like he just has frostbite on a part of his body. What? There's just certain things I'm like, let's just we don't. I don't need every single character to be. You know what I'm saying? Like we still haven't even had the conversation of Usopp and Usopp's dad. They still haven't even spoken to each other yet. Like there's enough familial ties here where I don't need to see, like, imagine if what's it called? What's the name? Is it Kushina? Not Kushina. What's the name of Smoker's vice captain? The girl with the sword?
Tashigi?
Tashigi. Right? Imagine if she's like the hidden half sister of Zoro's childhood friend. That'd be whack. Like no wonder you look just like her. You're her hidden twin sister. It's like I don't need that to be the case with these like movers and shakers at this point. Like One Piece is they have enough key story moments of like I don't need any more. We're already doing Norse mythology. There's literally the character Loki now in One Piece. Loki is canon to One Piece now. I'm okay. Let's just wrap this up, please. I don't need it to be the Naruto of the modern age where everyone just was always a descendant of a deity, and that's how we got to where we're at now. You know? Or even the thing I sent you guys the other day in the group chat where it was like, oh, turns out that Queen was actually Frankie's dad. It's like they never spoke to each other. Like, why does this even matter? You know, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I said, in closing, I think it's good that power scaling is starting to slowly leave the general anime conversation. I want it to be consistent in that matter of like, if we're gonna leave it, like let's leave it for real. Not leave it when it's convenient. Not leave it of like, oh, it was a what's it called? It was Sasuke using the last bit of his chakra to summon Manda. Like, fam, like what are we talking about? Like, I just don't want any more of those. Like, if we're gonna do it where like it's whatever fits the story, cool. Don't don't pick it up and drop it when you've written yourself into a corner. So, you got any last thoughts on that?
I I'm just respecting the craft of One Piece, man. I am just respecting the craft. Honestly, Egghead arc was like this was cinema to me, bro. The
Really?
laughs, the build up. Like honestly, no man, I really enjoy these episodes, man. Like I feel like because now I like all the hints of what Luffy's true powers really were. I just laugh hysterically. Now, yes, I do. I mean, I even like the fact that they did show. Okay, Gear 5 is not this ultimate cheat code because, like, look at the pig elder
Mm-hmm.
punching him like, "Ah!"
Mm-hmm.
Like so, like okay, there's not no all bets are off. He's just gonna do anything. Like, no, he could still feel damage, and then I do feel like that is a good balance. Because the fact that, like, bro, if he wasn't with those giant dudes, he probably would have just been running around in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
So now we also got to expect more cheat codes because of these elders. We still don't know the full magnitude of what they could do.
Yeah, apparently I gotta catch up. Apparently one of the recent chapters is starting to break down how Emu's abilities work too. So that's a whole other thing.
And even the visual itself, like what is like, because what One Piece love to do, they little silhouettes, but then that ain't how they gonna look in the end. So I'm like, I really want like, bro, what did Sabo see? What did he see? It's like, bro, like you need to talk to the Revolutionary Army, like the police, and give us a sketch. What did you see? Like, is this the man? Is this the man you saw?
Yeah. There was no form, Tim. It was like Pennywise. It was just deadlights taking the form of whatever. Like it was.
Well, yeah, man. This has been an interesting year. So I mean, the VGAs is the ultimate close. Let's see what that brings, and let's see what we have to look forward to for the new year.
Yes. God willing, we see release dates that seem reasonable. Like it's like, yeah, The Witcher 4 is still years off. It's like, fam, the what? Why? Why? Like, why'd you even bother? This is. I'm tired of this whole like, hey, when you're 40, these games you're seeing, they'll be out. It's like this does nothing for me, But like the profits that we've been in the past is like, hey, we call backlog season back around summer. I'm like, I have plenty, plenty of games I still need to play. So at this point, I'm chilling. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another episode. Appreciate you guys if you made it this far into the episode to the end. Um, YouTube in particular is going through a lot of really weird changes. So anytime we even make it to someone's algorithm nowadays, I'm grateful at this point. You know. So again, like I say every episode, the the slow and steady increase in engagement does not go unnoticed. We try to either acknowledge, whether it be in the pod or in the comments, everything that comes our way as much as we can. The bump in subscribers has been refreshing. Tim, I don't know if you know, we got 404 right now. You know what I'm saying? The 400
Oh,
boys. So, that's always great. Again, especially in such a competitive landscape. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in once again to the Press Start Select podcast. I am Antonio the Gamer, Mikkel Smith, and we will see you next time. Peace.